हेलो बच्चों। लास्ट पॉलिटिकल साइंस सीबीएसई क्लास 10th पॉलिटिकल साइंस चैप्टर 2 फेडरलिज्म पार्ट 3। ओके। लास्ट टाइम तक हमने यूनियन लिस्ट, कंकरेंट लिस्ट, स्टेट लिस्ट हमने देखा था और मैंने बोला भी था कि आप लोग इसको लिखो, एक बार लिख लो उसके बाद ठीक हो जाएगा। ओके। तो जो क्वेश्चन है आप अभी नहीं मालूम है आपको पिछला, तो पहले पिछला वीडियो देख लो। अगर नहीं तो यूनियन लिस्ट, स्टेट लिस्ट और कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट क्या होता है, क्यों होता है, इसके अंदर क्या आता है, ये एक बार देख के पढ़ के और लिख लीजिए। नाउ दिस इज पार्ट 3 फेडरलिज्म। हाउ क्वेश्चन पेज नंबर 21 पे है ये, पॉलिटिकल साइंस क्लास 10th सीबीएसई बोर्ड। हाउ इज फेडरलिज्म प्रैक्टिस्ड? Constitutional provisions are necessary for the success of federalism, but these are not sufficient. If the federal experiment was succeeded in India, it is not merely because of the clearly laid out constitutional provisions. The real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. This ensured that the spirit of federalism, respect for diversity, and desire for living together became a shared ideal in our country. Let us look at some of the major ways in which this happened. So, the real this is the introduction how it practiced. The real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. Okay, so जस्ट सी, इट इज़ नॉट कि बहुत समझ में आएगा, बट अगर आप बार बार सुनोगे और देखोगे, लिखोगे, इट विल बी गुड. इट इज़ रिपीटिशन, रिवीजन, रिवीजन, रिवीजन. Okay, that's why I am just reading, nothing else. Linguistic states. The creation of linguistic states was the first and major test for democratic politics in our country. If you look at the political map of India when it began its journey as a democracy in 1947 and that of 2006, you will be surprised by the extent of the changes. Many old states have vanished and many new states have been created. Areas, boundaries, and names of the states have been changed. We know many changes have happened. पहले तो सेंट्रल प्रोविंस होता था, मुंबई गुजरात एक में होता था, बहुत से चेंजेस हुए हैं. ओके. In 1947, the boundaries of several old states of India were changed in order to create new states. This was done to ensure that people who spoke the same language lived in the same state. Some states were created not on the basis of language but to recognize differences based on culture, ethnicity, or geography. These include states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand, and Jharkhand. इट इज़ गुड ऑल्सो ना, अगर छोटे लोग हैं उनका हेड होगा तो उनकी ज़रूरतें वो लोग समझेंगे तो वो बेटर लाइफ जी सकते हैं. When the demand for the formation of states on the basis of language was raised, some national leaders feared that it would lead to the disintegration of the country. The central government resisted linguistic states for some time, but the experience has shown that the formation of linguistic states has actually made the country more united. It has also administration easier. It has also made administration easier. First, linguistic states. Now, language policy. A second test for Indian Federation is the language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. Hindi was identified as the official language, but Hindi is the mother tongue of only about 40% of Indians. Therefore, there were many safeguards to protect other languages. Besides Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as scheduled languages by the constitution. So we have 22 languages. It was matlab, in short, MCQ. A candidate in an examination conducted for the central government position may opt to take the examination in any of these languages. States too have their own official language. Much of the government work takes place in the official language of the concerned state. Unlike Sri Lanka and the leaders of our country adopted a very cautious attitude in spreading the use of Hindi. According to the constitution, the use of English for official purposes was to stop in 1965. However, many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English continue. In Tamil Nadu, this movement took a violent form. The central government responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with Hindi for official purposes. Many critics think that this solution favored the English speaking elite. Promotion of Hindi continues to be the official policy of the Government of India. Promotion does not mean that the central government can impose Hindi on states where people speak a different languages. The flexibility shown by Indian political leaders helped our country avoid the kind of situation that Sri Lanka finds itself in. ओके, लैंग्वेज पॉलिसी में भी किया गया, पहले 1965 तक ही इंग्लिश यूज़ करना था, फिर तमिलनाडु में वॉयलेंट रेजिस्टेंस हुआ, इसकी वजह से इसको कंटिन्यू किया गया, बट हाँ ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज हिंदी रखा गया, बट इम्पोज नहीं किया जा सकता किसी पर हिंदी. सो इट इज़ लाइक दैट. तो हमारे पास एक था लिंग्विस्टिक स्टेट्स एंड दूसरा था लैंग्वेज पॉलिसी. तीसरा है सेंट्रल स्टेट रिलेशंस. सो हम लोग हाउ फेडरलिज्म वर्क इन इंडिया, वी आर डूइंग दैट. सो फेडरलिज्म इंडिया में कैसे सक्सेसफुल है, वी कैन से सक्सेसफुल है क्योंकि इतनी डाइवर्सिटी है हमारे कंट्री में. स्टिल ना हम लोग श्रीलंका की तरह नहीं हुए, जो इतना छोटा सा देश, उसके बावजूद, नो ऑफेंस, बट हम एक्चुअली हम लोग का सक्सेसफुल कंट्री है इन दिस मैटर. नेक्स्ट, सेंट्रल स्टेट रिलेशंस. Restructuring the center state relations is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. How the constitutional arrangements for sharing power work in reality depends to a large extent on how the ruling parties and leaders follow these arrangements. For a long time, the same party ruled both at the center and in most of the states. This meant that the state government did not exercise their rights or autonomous federal units. As and when the ruling party at the state level was different, the parties that ruled at the center tried to undermine the power of the states. In those days, the central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state governments that were controlled by rival parties. This undermined the spirit of federalism. मीन्स इसका था कि सेंटर और स्टेट में अगर सेम पार्टी रहेगा तो बेटर रहता था, लेकिन अगर सेंट्रल स्टेट में डिफरेंट पार्टी है तो समटाइम्स इट क्रिएट्स सम लिटिल ट्राइब. So but it is not good it is not good for federalism. Okay. All this changed significantly after 1990. This period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states of the country. This was also the beginning of the era of coalition governments. At the center, since no single party got the clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national parties had to enter into an alliance with many parties, including several regional parties, to form a government at the center. This led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of the state governments. So in the 1990s, no party get the majority, so they put alliance. They made alliance and made the coalition government. This trend was supported by a major judgment of the Supreme Court that made it difficult for the central government to dismiss a state government in an arbitrary manner. This federal power sharing is more effective today than it was in the clear early years after the constitution came into force. Okay, so linguistic diversity of India. There is a paragraph in which many something about language is written about. You should just read through. Look at the or in the last I will do that. Maybe the question will may not come from here. Just Hindi is the 40.2 percentage. It is scheduled language of India, and nothing that 1991 the latest information that we have is from. And in the last I will read this page also. Okay, now decentralization in India. We noted above that Federal governments have two or more tiers of governments. We have so far discussed the two tiers of government in our country. But a vast country like India cannot be run only through these two tiers. States in India are as large as independent countries of Europe. In terms of population, Uttar Pradesh is bigger than Russia. Maharashtra is about as big as Germany. Many of these states are internally very diverse. There is thus a need for power sharing within these states. Federal power sharing in India needs another tier of government below that of the state governments. This is the rationale for decentralization of power. Thus, resulted a third tier of government called local government. इट इज़ गुड ना, लोकल पीपल अपना काम खुद कर लेंगे तो ये प्रेशर नहीं होगा किसी ऊपर, और अपनी परेशानी खुद समझ के खुद सॉल्व आउट करना गुड. When power is taken away from central and state governments and given to local government, it is called decentralization. What is decentralization? To giving away the power from central and state government to local government is known as decentralization. The basic idea behind decentralization is that there are large number of problems and issues which are best settled at the local level. People have better knowledge of problems in their localities. जो मैंने अभी कहा, they also have better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage things more efficiently. Besides, at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in decision making. This helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. Local government is the best way to realize one important principle of democracy, namely local self government. The need for decentralization was recognized in our constitution. Since then, there have been several attempts to decentralize power to the level of villages and towns. Panchayats in villages and municipalities in urban areas were set up in all the states. But areas were set up in all the states, but these were directly under the control of state governments. पावर जरूर दे दिया गया, बट इट इज़ नहीं कि वो एकदम इंडिविजुअल एंटिटी हो जाएंगी. उनके ऊपर भी रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन स्टेट और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का ही लगेगा, क्योंकि पैसा तो उनको वहीं से मिलने वाला है. Elections to those local governments were not held regularly. Local governments did not have any powers of resources of their own. Thus, there was very little decentralization in effective terms. A major step toward decentralization was taken in 1992. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy more powerful and effective. A major step toward decentralization was taken in 1992. Again, I am reading. The constitution was amended to make the third tier of democracy more powerful and effective. Now, it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections to local government bodies, just like हम लोग सेंट्रल और स्टेट में करते हैं. Seats are reserved in the elected bodies and the executive heads of these institutions for the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and other backward classes for the improvement of those classes. At least one third of all positions are reserved for women. Good for women. An independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal elections. So, an independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal election. So, see, this is the thing ना, जो बहुत important है उसको दो दो बार पढ़ लो. It's okay. तो आपके दिमाग में ज़्यादा जाएगा. The state governments are required to share some powers and revenue with local government bodies. The nature of sharing varies from state to state. में सारे state के different issues होंगे उसके लिए. Rural local government is popularly known by the name Panchayati Raj. Each village or a group of villages in some states has a Gram Panchayat. This is a council consisting of several ward members, often called Panch, and a president or Sarpanch. Means in local government, what we have Panch, Sarpanch, or president. They are directly elected by all the adult population living in that ward. They are directly elected by all them, and तो वो लोग locally known persons होंगे. They have also good idea about the issues of village. It is the decision making body for the entire village. The panchayat works under the overall supervision of the Gram Sabha. All the voters in the village are its members. It has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and to review the performance of the Gram Panchayat. The local government structure goes right up to the district level. A few gram panchayats are grouped together to form what is usually called a panchayat samiti or block or mandal. The members of this representative body are called by all the panchayat members in that area. All the panchayat samitis or mandals in a district together. ठीक है? Constitute the Jilla Parishad. Most members of the Jilla Parishad are elected. Members of the Lok Sabha and MLAs of that district and some other officials of other district level bodies are also its members. Jilla Parishad chairperson is the political head of the Jilla Parishad. Who is the head of the Jilla Parishad chairperson is the political head of the Jilla Parishad. Similarly, local government bodies exist for urban areas as well. Municipalities are set up in towns. Big cities are constituted into municipal corporations. Both municipalities and municipal corporation are controlled by elected bodies consisting of people's representatives. Municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. In a municipal corporation, such an officer is called the mayor. In a municipal corporation, it is mayor. So, see how the vast country like India is working using federal setup of government. Okay. The more this new system of local government is the largest experiment in democracy conducted anywhere in the world. There are now about 36 lakh elected representatives in the panchayats and municipalities, etc., all over the country. This number is bigger than the population of many countries in the world. Constitutional status for local government has helped to deepen democracy in our country. It has also increased the women's representation and voice in our democracy. At the same time, there are many difficulties. While elections are held regularly and enthusiastically, Gram Sabhas are not held regularly. Most state governments have not transferred significant powers to the local governments, nor have they given adequate resources. We are thus still a long way from realizing the ideal of self government. See, okay. So, what are the issues? Still issues. It is written in the last paragraph. This is a bigger than the population, many countries and all. And what is the issue and how self government works? Means how what is the decentralization setup in India? The question, and you have to write the answer. The question for today's videos is the explain the decentralization setup system in India. Okay, this is the last. Okay, and one that paragraph about language, I don't think it is very important, but still if it is given, then we should read once. But reading or listening will not help until unless you will put into under your heart, means you should write also. Linguistic diversity of India. How many languages do we have in India? The answer depends on how one counts it. The latest information that we have is from the census of India held in 1991. This census recorded more than 1500 distinct languages which people mentioned as their mother tongues. These languages were grouped together under some major languages. For example, languages like Bhojpuri, Magdi, Bundelkhandi, Chhattisgarhi, Rajasthani, Bhili, and many others were grouped together under Hindi. Even after this grouping, the census found 114 major languages. Of these, 22 languages are now included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution and are therefore called scheduled languages. Others are called non scheduled languages. In terms of languages, India is perhaps the most diverse country in the world, but still there are more countries which has languages more than this. A look at the enclosed table makes it clear that no one language is the mother tongue of the majority of our population. The largest language is Hindi, is the mother tongue of only about 40% Indians. If we add to that all those who knew Hindi as their second or third language, the total number was still less than 50% in 1991. As for English, only 0.02% Indians recorded it as their mother tongue. Another 11% knew it as a second or third language. ठीक है, read this table carefully, but you do not need to memorize, just do the following. It is also written here. तो Hindi is 40.2%. Okay, so this chapter 2 of political science CBSE board class 10 finished. Reading finished. Now your turn to listen, read, and then write. Listen, read, and then write. But writing is very very important. Otherwise it is total waste of time and you will say कि आई तो मैंने तो पढ़ाई की थी, बट नहीं, जब तक नीचे हाथ के नीचे से नहीं जाएगा, नो सक्सेस. ओके, चलो पास तो हो जाओगे. नो, सिविक्स में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, पास हो जाओगे, बट ओवरऑल परसेंटेज में ये फ़र्क दिखता है. तुम्हें भी कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा ना, अपने अपने ही देश के, अपने ही आसपास के बारे में पढ़ना है ना. चलो शुरू हो जाओ लिखना. बाय. नेक्स्ट वीडियो में चैप्टर था. थैंक यू.